Good morning. I welcome you to another edition of Sunday Morning Dose. I'm your host, Shion. And today we'll look at a subject that I have titled, Who Are You Becoming in Christ? Who are you becoming in Christ? Yes, we all can become in Christ. And we are expected to become someone in Christ. The gospel of Christ has two sides to it. The gospel of Christ could make you possess, yes, could get you some level of possessions, and the gospel of Christ can make you become someone in quote, someone, make you a person, a someone. But a religion has done not quite nice job talking about this too, because religion had portrayed everything about Christ to be just possession. So you ask a new believer, why are you on Christ? What's the difference? And the person starts telling you that the difference is that the things you could not have before in our as now. As true that can be, that is also misconstrued. It's not totally true, because what we are supposed to be, to be in Christ, the whole essence of coming into Christ is that we are supposed to become. We are supposed to have become someone, a new person, or that person that God has destined you to be. So even Christ had to become someone strange, someone the society could not relate with. In Matthew 13 verse 55, for instance, this statement was made concerning Jesus. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother named Mary? And ain't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Meaning, how come this guy is different? How come he's different? How come his circumstances of his social status of his family would not have limited him, and yet he's still becoming? So I read that again, Matthew 13 verse 55. Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name isn't his mother's name Mary? And ain't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? So his social status of his family could not limit him. It was different. He had become someone different from the norm that his family would be considered to be. So in John 1 verse 46, another statement made concerning relating to Jesus. Nazareth, can anything good come from there? Nathanael asked. Come and see, said Philip. Nazareth, I read it again. Can anything good come from there? Nathanael asked. Come and see, said Philip. So not just that the social economic status of his family was not impressive, even the town he was raised was not also impressive. The town wasn't impressive, just like Nigeria in present day or any other third world countries right now. Somebody is asking you, can anything good come out from there? Yes. So in becoming, in who Christ became, nothing was on the outside capable enough to hinder him from becoming who he became. Nothing. So the same message is that there is nothing capable on the outside, capable enough to stop you from becoming who you are destined to become in Christ. So we are supposed to become. Christ himself became. Yes, he did. So we are supposed to become. So this is what Christ would require or would promise his disciples. In Matthew 4:18-20. Matthew 4:18-20. So if you are a disciple of Christ, this is Christ telling you his expected vision for you in him. If you are following Christ, you are expected to become, not just to possess. And why is it that you should not be after that other side of Christ's message? Because you don't necessarily even need to be in Christ to possess. There are people who are not in Christ who are possessing. Yes. And the truth is this: everything you possess is variables. Variables means they are not constant. They could leave you at any point in time, or you could leave them at any point in time. So you should not spend all your eternity, all your time here on earth looking for variables. You should look for things that will be with you forever. With you forever. And who you become, the personality that you have become, will be with you forever. Matthew 4:18-20. Walking along the beach of Lake Galilee, Jesus saw two brothers, Simon, later called Peter, and Andrew. They were fishing, throwing their net into the lake. It was their regular work. Jesus said to them, "Come with me, I will make a new kind of fisherman out of you." I will make a new kind of fisherman out of you. I will show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass. I will show you how to catch men and women instead of perch and bass. I will make you a new kind of fisherman out of you. I will make a new kind of fisherman out of you. So Christ would promise his disciples a personality that they will become. And if your question is, did they become someone? Did they become that personality? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They became that kind of personality. They became that and even more. They became the truth side of Christ's message. They became and they possess. So don't just focus about possession and living out who you should become in Christ. That is more important to Christ. That is more important in Christ. That is where you get to the point where you are exactly like God. Where you are exactly like God. So let's confirm if they truly became who Christ promised them. Acts 4:13-14. Acts chapter 4, verse 13-14. The Jewish leaders saw that Peter and John were not afraid to speak. They understood that these men had no special training or education. So they were amazed. Then they realized that Peter and John had been with Jesus. I take that again. Acts chapter 4, verse 13 only. The Jewish leaders saw that Peter and John were not afraid to speak. They understood that these men had no special training or education. So they were amazed. Then they realized that Peter and John had been with Jesus. So they were not afraid. They had become fearless. They were without school or formal education, yet they could speak fluently. They become literate. So they themselves concluded that these guys had been with Christ. This is the reason this kind of fishermen would have become this kind of persons, a personality, because they had been with Christ. So if you had been with Christ and there is no significant personality you have become, trust me, you are not yet in Christ. You are not. So what should this dare you to do? Dare you to become. Not just dare you to possess. Anyone could possess. Anyone could possess. The richest person on earth does not even believe in Christ, in God, to start with. Not just in Christ, in God. So anyone can possess. But who you become determines the real deal. The real deal. The real deal is not what you possess. The real deal is who you have become or who you are becoming. So ask yourself, am I becoming anything in Christ? And what is the target expectations of you becoming? 3 years. If you have spent more than 3 years in Christ and you are yet to become, then you are not in Christ. You didn't follow Christ. Because the expectations here was between 3 years, was exactly 3 years. Jesus started discipling them in the space of 3 years, and they had become Jesus. They had become the personality of Jesus. So we'll continue this conversation for the next few weeks or more on what we would become in Christ. So we'll be highlighting them what we are supposed to become in Christ. What we are supposed to become in Christ. Part of the things biblically that people who followed Christ became, and some of the things that Christ also said that you are going to become when you follow him. So I hope this conversation this morning will stir up the desire to become, not just to be associated with Christ, not just to possess in Christ, but to become in Christ. Some are after possession of health, healing. Some are after the possession of financial freedom, money. Some are after possession of marital destiny, married, all kinds of possession. Why many people keep trooping and following Christ. But no, that is not the essence of following Christ. The essence of Christ, of being a follower of Christ, is about who you are becoming. And today, start becoming. Start becoming. And the least you can become in Christ is God. Yes, the least you can become in Christ is God. So don't stop at any other level. Don't stop at any other level. Till we see some other time, same station next week. This is Sunday Morning Dose. Keep becoming exactly like Christ. Thank you.